Hello, you decided to click on this video, and that tells me that maybe you're ready to do something about your grief. Perhaps you're tired of hearing life must go on and want someone to remind you why. Let's talk about grief. In Jay Anderson's words, grief I've learned is really just love. It's the love you want to give but cannot. All the unspent love gathers up in the corners of your eyes, the lump in your throat, and that hollow part of your chest. Grief is just love with no place to go. Sometimes we grieve longer than we loved. Sometimes you don't just grieve for the person, but also for the person you were with them. You grieve your changed identity. We all grieve different things. Death, end of a relationship, a miscarriage, a disqualified paper, a failed exam, a lost job, or loss of health. However, whatever you're grieving, in the words of David Kessler, each person's grief is as unique as their fingerprint. But what everyone has in common is that no matter how they grieve, they share a need for their grief to be witnessed. So allow me to tell you that I'm here to witness your grief. I'm here to hear, to listen, and to respond. You can share your grief in the comment section, and I promise to witness it and to respond. And everyone listening, let's all witness each other's grief down below. But even if you don't leave a comment, it's okay. I'm still a witness to your grief, just by the fact that you're here listening to me. Every book I have read, every podcast I heard, every movie I watched, every therapist I have spoken to, and most of all, my own lived experience tells me that if we do not actively try to help our hearts heal, we can stay in the state of grief for eternity. So to move forwards, we have to go sit with our loved ones, our friends, our family, and allow them to soothe our hurting hearts slowly. We have to start building a new life. Sometimes we have to make that phone call to the therapist and brave those painful, complicated conversations so slowly the fog of grief can lift from our beings. At other times, simply moving helps. That may be a yoga class, a run in the sun, a stroll in the park, or a gentle swim in the slightly cold water. But any movement, just through a biological chain of events, starts to gently flush your body with goodness of happy hormones to combat the sadness in your bones. I have read about people who rescue an animal as they go through grief, and then that animal rescues them. These people find a furry friend to divert their love towards, and their grief finds rest. Others may grow a garden or have indoor plants. There is something so ironic about growing a new life while you mourn the end of something. It's taking all your sorrows, planting them in soil, and watching as new life breathes off of your sorrows. You can do this one step at a time. There is no rush. Today may be day 1 for you, where you can finally go brush your teeth and that's enough. Or it may be day 30 for you, and you can brave a genuine phone call with a friend. Or day 60, and you're ready to sign up for a yoga class. Or day 100, and maybe you can try dipping your toes back into work. As long as you make some progress, doesn't matter how big or small, it's still one step closer to your old self. Grief is a living, breathing organism. Grief does not go away, but life grows around it, and you have to add to your life slowly so you can build it up again. These slow changes and small efforts start adding up, and then you realize that it hurts until it doesn't. Your grief shrinks enough to start making space for recalling the happy moments with smiles mixed in with tears. Healing becomes less scary. The fear of forgetting or betraying your loved one starts fading away, and you find yourself living again. Flowers start smelling beautiful again. The sun suddenly feels warmer. You find yourself going for those heels again, and the comfort of flats seems less appealing. Your playlist starts to look a little cheerier. Your sleep gets better. Your food starts to taste much better. You start to feel less lonely in the crowds, and slowly but surely, all your little efforts add up to bring you back to life. Grief will creep up from time to time, And you may even find yourself bawling your eyes out in the middle of a vegetable aisle or a work conference or your maths class one day. But your new life will always take over. It will pull you out as soon as you start sliding back in. You will smile again. You will feel good again. You will feel joy again. You will laugh again, eat again, play again. I promise. Please subscribe and like. Thank you very much for listening.